This is big breaking news. Multiple states officials and police officers are warning the general public to stay home and stay indoors. They are warning people to not be driving on the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. And this comes as we've already seen 36 people lose their life in the past 48 hours. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos every day, keeping you guys updated on this big news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So we are seeing these alerts go out all the way down from Tampa to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all the way up to New York. The whole eastern coast of the United States right now is getting these warnings and getting these alerts. There is tornado warnings going out. There's severe weather happening. And there's already sadly been 36 people that have lost their life from these devastating storms, okay? And officials and police officers are putting out the warning in multiple different states to stay indoors, do not drive, and do not be on the roads right now until the storm passes through and until it is gone. All right. We have multiple tornado warnings going out right now. All right. There's one for Eva, Florida. This is right north of Polk City, Florida, where a tornado has been spotted. There's also multiple tornado warnings in Hillsborough County, Florida, Pasco County, Florida, and Polk County, Florida. Right now, radar is indicating that tornadoes have occurred on the ground. Tornado warnings in Watha, North Carolina, and Willard, North Carolina throughout the night as well too. All right. And also in Kathleen, Florida, Providence, Florida. And we have tornado warnings as well in Zephyrs Hills, Pasadena Hills, Crystal Springs, all over the place, up and down the East Coast, and a lot of them in Florida right now. Shenandoah County, Virginia, and also Hardee County, West Virginia are under tornado warnings as well too, and Oneida County, New York, as well as getting these warnings. So this is happening all over. Palm Harbor, Florida, Dunedin, Florida, Safety Harbor, Florida are all getting tornado warnings. And in the past 48 hours, we've seen 36 people sadly lose their lives from these devastating storms, okay? People have lost their life in Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Alabama in the past 48 hours, right? Entire towns have been wiped out and devastated, and dust storms have caused people to have pileups and car crashes in Texas and Kansas. People have lost their lives as well too, and it's being reported that at least 2 EF4 tornadoes touched down. So 2 F4 tornadoes touched down in the past 24 to 48 hours as well too inside the United States. Insane weather that we are seeing, and this is going to continue throughout the night through these states, and we could see tornado outbreaks and potentially even flooding in certain areas as well too in these mountainous areas. All right, so it says that 24 people have lost their lives from tornadoes alone. All right, this is coming from 4 different states, and it says that they have confirmed that at least 39 tornadoes have touched down since Friday, including 2 in Arkansas with a preliminary rating of EF4, right? And the highest is F5. And 1 in Cave City, Arkansas with a rating of EF3 and winds of 165 miles per hour. Also, another EF3 tornado touchdown in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And at least 13 EF2 tornadoes were confirmed, all right? It says much of the destruction was found in places like Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, and even Oklahoma. We're seeing these fires where entire towns are being wiped out and burned to the ground and blown away. And the number of tornadoes, the number of fires, the amount of wind, the amount of dust, this is almost unheard of, right? This is a unprecedented event that has happened over the past 24 to 48 hours, and it's really hasn't even processed yet exactly how devastating this has been. This will most likely go on record as one of the worst weather outbreaks, tornado outbreaks, wind, and even fire, right? It's almost unheard of and it's almost unnatural at this point. The intensity and the frequency of these events happening, it almost makes you wonder if something else is going on behind the scenes to amplify these things. I'm not saying they are, but it makes you wonder, makes you suspicious when these events are so devastating and so powerful and so frequent. This is happening every few months. We are seeing entire towns and communities. Does anyone remember the Los Angeles fires just a few months ago? Entire towns are being burned down in Oklahoma as well too right now from these winds and from this weather events that are happening, right? It's all related. It's all the same weather system that has been sweeping through the country the past 48 hours and causing destruction, right? We're also seeing people without power all throughout the country, right? 95,705 people in Pennsylvania are now without power, right? And that's primarily focused more in the western side of the state. Also, there is over 60,000 people without power in New York right now, too. 60,264, and that's primarily focused in the western part of the state as well, too. 14,198 without power in West Virginia, 11,446 in North Carolina without power, and 32,488 without power in Missouri. Right, so these storms are knocking out the power for people, and these numbers were even higher earlier in the day. In Pennsylvania, I saw numbers around 160,000. So they have been working on restoring the power, but it's going to continue throughout the night. All right, so make sure you guys have your stuff stocked up and filled up, especially if you're in this area. Have your gas tanks filled up for your car and for your generator, just in case anything happens. And please just hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these alerts out just so people know what's going on. And one of the main reasons that officials have been telling people to stay home is due to these storms, but also these dust storms as well too. There was a massive pileup, right, where at least 71 vehicles were involved and at least 8 people sadly lost their life. This happened on Interstate 70 near the Kansas-Colorado state line, right? This is one of the main highways going in and out of these states, and this caused a massive 71 car pileup. Looks like even more cars than that from the helicopter images, but I'm sure some of the cars didn't crash, but at least 71 did, and 8 people sadly lost their life. Insane, right? So it's best, I know sometimes you have to travel, there's nothing you can do. You got to go to work, you got to get places, there's emergencies. But if you can, if possible, avoid the roads when this wind and this rain and these tornadoes are breaking out all over the place, right? And a lot of times it's very sudden, and you can be driving and not even see it, right? It could be something where it's out of your field of view and it really sneaks up on you, and all of a sudden you're in this storm, right? And you have nowhere to shelter, nowhere to go because you're in your car. So it's best to just stay home, right? This is happening all over the country right now, this insane apocalyptic weather system, and it almost seems unnatural, right? The level of destruction, it just swept through the country. This has been going on for days. It started off as major winds and a dust storm in Texas, and then it spread to Oklahoma and Arkansas, Missouri, and massive fires broke out. Over 140 fires in Oklahoma break out, and tornadoes hit Missouri, destroy homes and buildings, and then it just sweeps through the country. And then the next day, it's hitting Mississippi, it's hitting Alabama, it's hitting Louisiana. The next day, it's hitting Tennessee, and now it's on the East Coast and smacking all of these states, right? So I know this does happen naturally, but just the intensity and the strength of the system, it just keeps going, right? It just keeps producing more and more intense weather. And I'm not sure where this energy is coming from for the system, right? So let me know what you guys think down below. And make sure you are staying safe. Make sure you have these alerts on for your phone if you are in these areas, just in case, all right? Especially at night, because these things, a lot of these tornadoes happen at nighttime, and it's sudden and it's hard to react. It's hard to respond. You can't even see where the tornado is even coming from at nighttime as well. And it's hard to even know where to go or if you're safe or not or what direction it's moving in. So make sure you have those alerts set up on your phone. And a lot of these phones do have SOS and satellite connection now. Like iPhones have connections where you can, if you have SOS service, you don't have phone service, the towers are down from a power outage or a tornado or whatever was flooding, whatever it is, you can connect to the satellites with your iPhone if you don't have any service. They have their own satellites now. And there's also, if you have T-Mobile, you can connect with almost any smartphone to Starlink satellites as well too through that, and send text messages and send alerts, emergency alerts out to people or to the emergency services to get that out there, right? And I only mention that because I just live in an area where there is like no service. Even at my house, there's no phone service. It's just all satellite internet, right? And internet here. And driving around, there's no phone service, any of these things. So it's just something that we use sometimes out here if we ever need to. These satellite options are available, right? And are actually very helpful, and they actually do work, right? I've actually tested them out sometimes to see if they go through, and my wife has gotten the text messages when I'm out in the woods and tested it out, right? So thank you guys. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying prepared out there. This system should be out of here by tomorrow evening. And there's also things like weather radios as well too that run off batteries that you can have turned on and tuned into local weather stations and weather alerts that will turn on and send out alerts for you, these weather radios. All right, so look into that too. That could honestly save your life one day in one of these situations. So thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.